Let me introduce myself. My name is James. And your name is?
Rachel Lawler.
And Rachel, what have you been doing the last 4 days?
I have been fasting outside of the United States Supreme Court at the 14th Annual Fast and Vigil to abolish the death penalty.
And how has your last 4 days of fasting gone?
It's gone well.
Yeah?
It's given me a lot of time, instead of eating, to do other things, just to listen to the really inspiring speakers who came out here, and just to educate the public.
And did you learn anything in the process?
Yeah, I always learn a lot. I mean, I think the thing that I learned most is just how strong a person can be after enduring so much pain, and just how they can turn something tragic into something beautiful.
And how did you learn that?
Just by listening and being around everyone here.
Were there speakers that were particularly inspiring to you?
Just all of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
And what are you eating there?
Couscous and lentils with hot sauce, of course.
And this is your first meal in how many days?
About 4 days.
4 days. Great. And are you a student?
Yep, I'm a pre-law student up in Vermont.
Oh, great. And what would you say to other students?
Just to definitely come out here. I mean, it's a really inspiring experience, and you'll learn a lot, and it's very rewarding.
Great. Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah, no problem.
Here I am in front of the United States Supreme Court at the, it's about 12:30. We just finished a fast and vigil. I'm here with Anne, Hugh, and Jeremy. They are 3 of the fasters from this past 4 days. So, Anne, tell me, you just finished 4 days of fasting. How does it feel?
Strangely not that weird. Like, I don't feel like I've been fasting for 4 days. I don't know. I thought it'd be like a bigger deal than it was.
Yeah. And why are you out here fasting?
Just because I'm against the death penalty.
And how has it been the last 4 days?
It's been pretty good. Like, I didn't find fasting as hard as I thought it would be, and it's been a really great experience being here with like the speakers that they've brought to the future and things like that.
Who were some of the speakers that came that impressed you?
I'm not so good with names, so I don't remember their names exactly, but well, one person, Ron McAndrews, he was a former prison warden who had carried out an execution. I thought his perspective was really interesting. They also brought in just families of people on death row, families of murder victims who later decided to be against the death penalty, and people who had survived death row, things like that. Just people with really personal experiences.
And what did you learn over the last 4 days? About yourself or about the death penalty?
I just learned a lot about, I guess, the sort of the personal details of how the death penalty really affects people, and how, you know, murder victims' families can feel about the issue, and just really put sort of faces to something that seemed more abstract and ideological.
And would you do it again?
Yeah, I would.
And are you a student?
Yes.
Where do you go to school?
I'm going to Smith College in the fall as a freshman.
Okay. And what would you say to other students like yourself?
I don't know. I just like other students to be more involved in activism in general, with the death penalty or with other issues, and just, you know.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for coming out today.
Thanks.
Okay, here I am with Hooman. Hooman, we're on the steps of the Supreme Court. What have you been doing here the last few days?
I've been here from June 29, 2007 till July 3rd. It's about midnight, and I've been fasting with about 20 other people from around the United States and even some other countries for 4 days to abolish the death penalty.
And how has it gone for you so far?
It's been really a good experience. I met many new people. It was really exciting to talk with hundreds of tourists passing by the Supreme Court and tell them about why we're here. And June 29 and July 2nd is the anniversary of the 2 cases that are really at the heart of the issue. In this case of Furman versus Georgia was when the Supreme Court came and said the death penalty is unconstitutional, and 5 years later they reinstated the death penalty in the case Greg versus Georgia. So we're coming during this period and fasting and trying to educate people about this issue.
And how many of you were out here fasting?
We had about 20 to 30 people at different times of the day coming here. There was probably about 10 to 15 people that were here full time for the 4 days fasting.
And did you learn anything over the last 4 days?
I learned a lot of things. It was a great experience. I met new people that had personal stories and experiences on this issue. So for me, it was really compelling to listen to their personal stories and learn what they've gone through, and they still oppose the death penalty. More the victim families, exonerated death row inmates, former prison wardens. It was great.
And what would you say to other students like yourself?
I would encourage all the students to come and apply and join us next year in front of the Supreme Court at the same time. If not, they should become involved and get involved in the criminal justice issues, and especially the death penalty, and do whatever they can to fight this barbaric practice.
And are you going to do it again next time?
I am hoping to be able to come here next year, depending if I can afford to pay for the airplane ticket, but I'll try my best.
All right, see you there. Hugh just finished fasting, is it?
Yep.
How long were you fasting, Hugh?
4 days.
4 days, and you're just getting ready to break your fast? What are you eating?
Spaghetti, couscous, there's a slice of pizza, and there's a roll I already just took a bite of.
And you haven't eaten for the last 4 days?
Yeah.
So how's it been? How'd it go for you?
Once you stop noticing that you're not eating, you just have to ignore food, and then you don't notice that you're not eating.
Yeah.
And then it's reasonably easy.
Yeah. And did you learn anything over the last 4 days about yourself or about the death penalty?
I learned that I could fast for 4 days, but about the death penalty, I learned a lot. Not so much facts and figures and information and statistics, but what the death penalty means to a lot of people. The impact that it really has on death row inmates and their families and the families of victims and even the people working in law enforcement and the prison system. Yeah.
And where are you from here?
I'm New Jersey.
New Jersey? New Jersey's getting ready to abolish the death penalty,
Yeah.
they say. Are you part of those efforts?
Aside from like sending a letter to my state representative, not really.
Yeah. So how'd you get involved? How'd you get motivated to come out to for this weekend?
I came down here sort of on a whim.
Yeah.
Really. I didn't have any hard and fast reason or great.
No, it just comes into existence for the. You're just so
I
silly
just decided to. I'm not quite sure why exactly.
Okay. And are you going to work on the death penalty in the future?
I'm sure I will at some point.
Yeah. And what would you say to other students like yourself?
nonsensical statements like that the restaurant where we have the Last Supper actually exists outside of the Last Supper. That's just.
This probably isn't good that I'm taking
Alright,
this long
don't
to answer the
expect
question.
Alright? What do you take me for, a fool? A fool?
I'd like to say
We're having a
that
private conversation.
they might find it a lot harder to not care about things if they talk to some of the people I've talked to here or heard some of the people I've heard here speak. That's
It's like it sprouted a
Okay,
new
great.
one!
Well, thanks for coming
They're
out.
reproducing!
And enjoy your dinner tonight.